Welcome! This is the webinar about Is Your Data Ready for AI Development and the Data Act. It's a BrightNet webinar for IT, data and business decision makers. Actually all who need to prepare for both the upcoming regulations and the tech investments. My name is Robert Blaas, I'm the Segment Marketing Manager at BrightNet, and over the next 30 minutes we'll explore how the Data Act will affect your systems, what actions are needed to ensure data readiness, and how a data health assessment can help. Joining me are Magda Jagiello, our Business Development Director working directly with the customers preparing for new IT projects like AI data warehouses, cloud migration and compliance. Magda, welcome. And Piotr Wegner, our Business Director for Solutions and Bid Management. Piotr, welcome also. So let's begin with the legal context. What exactly is the Data Act and why is it so urgent? So Magda, we know that the European Data Act is coming, but why is it so important to our audience right now?
Good question, Robert. The Data Act might sound like something that is very far away, but honestly, it already matters today for two reasons. First is the timeline. The regulation entered into force in January 2024, but from September onwards, the obligations will start to apply. And that means that companies don't have years to wait. They need to start preparing now to avoid risk and penalties later. And second is the impact. The Data Act is not just another piece of European Union law. It changes how companies are allowed to use and share our data. And it gives users, whether business or individuals, stronger rights to access their data. And it requires fairer contracts in B2B. And it forces also interoperability in cloud services. And all of that affects the way companies design systems, applications, signing contracts, and manage their customers and product data. So answering your question, why it matters right now, because if organizations wait until next year, then they will be run out of time to adapt, and preparing early allows them to build compliance into their systems in a way that will be structured instead of rushing under pressure or facing just penalties.
We now know that why it is important, but also can you explain who it affects?
The Data Act introduced obligations not only for legal teams, but also for IT, architecture, and data governance. And there are four key areas affected. We have data access and sharing, system interoperability, auditability of data use and AI, and also contractual flexibility in cloud and data service providers. And these new regulations will apply almost to every sector, starting with technology and cloud companies, through logistic, retail, and energy sectors, and ending with the financial or healthcare industries. So non-compliance can lead to serious troubles, for example, such as fines even up to 20 million euros or 4% of global turnover. And in addition, there are such risks as project delays, blocked cloud transitions or transfers, and failing AI pilots. So really, it is worth of thinking about it now.
So Piotr, we now know that we all need to prepare for the European Act, the Data Act, but also the budget for 2026 is very important. Can you explain how we as BrightNet can help organizations with that?
Yes, absolutely. So to prepare for new regulations, but also for budgeting, as you mentioned, for IT projects like AI or machine learning solutions, you need visibility into your data landscape. That's our data health assessment provides. In this data health assessment, we examine 7 critical areas: data cataloging, data quality, access management, data warehouses, but also reporting systems migrating to the cloud and implementations of AI and mentioned machine learning solutions. Comprehensive data health assessment is a broad and in-depth analysis of 7 key areas that enables a quick evaluation of data maturity and allow identification of investment priorities. In practice, organizations most often need a simultaneous review of several areas. However, the selection of individual areas is primarily driven by expectations and the real business needs of the company.
So thanks, Piotr, for explaining. But how long does it exactly take for these critical areas to assess? And are they overlapping in some cases?
Well, no, they do not overlap. Each of these areas can be analyzed independently or as a part of a comprehensive review. The action plan should be closely linked to your company's actual goals and needs. Data health assessment in each case provides information about the current state, needed investments, and it can last from 1 week to a month and a half.
So Magda, we now know which critical areas the Data Act assessment actually covers, but can you give a real live example of what data health assessment has uncovered with one of our customers?
Sure. Let me walk you through an example of one of our customers from logistics sector who approached the topic of data readiness. We started our cooperation and also our common journey with them from a data health assessment. And that assessment was focused on 3 critical areas: data warehouse, the reporting environment, and the potential for cloud migration. And the aims of this initiative were clear, honestly. We had to improve performance, especially in this reporting area. We had to simplify access to business information, and we also had to prepare the whole organization for scalable growth across multiple markets.
Okay, thank you. And what did we find or learn?
Sure. Thanks to that assessment, we uncovered several issues that limited the ability to work effectively with the data. One of them was inconsistencies in data sources. They caused reporting delays and also some kind of confusion across the teams. The second was linked with not optimized ETL processes that led to slow data loads and also duplicate some logic. And we also found that the underlying data models in the reporting tool were just too heavy. And because of it, dashboards were sluggish and difficult to maintain. And all of these factors contributed to the fact that it was impossible to make a well-informed decision about moving part of the architecture to the cloud and take also some benefits from it.
So what were the recommendations from the assessments we did, Piotr?
The data health assessment resulted in a clear and structured set of recommendations. We prepared several action plans, actually, from basic cleanup to a more advanced redesign. Each plan, minimum, standard, or maximum, included estimated workload, schedule, prioritization, and technological options. As some key actions, we proposed, for instance, reorganizing the data warehouse structure and optimizing and documenting ETL processes, as well as moving calculations into analytical layer or building a realistic cloud migration roadmap based on ROI.
So Magda, what did the customer gain from this?
The results were quite immediate and tangible. Reporting became faster and more stable, and thanks to it, it was also easier to develop and maintain. The data warehouse was simplified, making it also scalable, and the analytics team had more confidence and also greater trust in data, and so did management. And most importantly, now the customer had a clear roadmap for what to do next.
And what happened after implementing the recommendations of the assessment?
Oh, it was just the beginning of our common journey. Together with our customer, we used that foundation to move forward. Move forward with such initiatives as centralizing some core business processes, with building a dedicated customer portal, with streamlining operations and also improving the whole client communication. And all of it was based on reliable and well-structured data. And because the data was already cleaned, modeled, and governed, we had the opportunity to implement this digital initiative, but also future digital initiatives much faster. But what is even more important, in my opinion, and not only in my opinion, much smarter.
Okay, thank you. And Piotr, do you have anything to add to that?
Well, this is a good example of how data health assessment is not a one-off report, right? But a strategic entry point for structured change. This client used the data health assessment not as a report to file away, From there, they built out applications, automated key processes, and scaled with confidence because the foundation was solid. It gave them the clarity to reduce risk, prioritize investments, and scale in the right direction, actually, from BI and reporting to operations, customer service, and beyond. And that's what good data gives you, right? So the ability to act, not guess.
Okay, Piotr, nicely said. Good data gives you the ability to act. But we all know how important data quality is. But can you explain a little bit more in why it matters so much before taking steps like implementing AI, machine learning, automation, etc.?
Yeah, because if your foundation is flawed, everything built on it will fail silently. So with poor quality data, you don't just get wrong answers, you risk making wrong decisions. With inconsistent structures, even modern tools like Power BI or AI agents become difficult to implement or trust.
So we now know that the data health assessment provides the knowledge about the data, but summarizing, what are the main benefits for our customers to get that they can get from a data health assessment?
Well, you can gain full visibility. Where and what quality of data is available in the organization, including identification of gaps and duplicates and avoiding transfer of inconsistencies. It's also confirmation of accuracy, completeness, consistency, and timelines of data, key to the quality of analysis and decisions. Then the clarity on how data is shared, to whom and how, with an assessment of protection mechanisms and analysis of the risk of unauthorized access. You'll have a complete picture of deployment readiness, the state of the current data architecture, its performance, and areas for optimization. And the data productivity. You increase the quality of results and enable users to use self-service technologies. Finally, you got specific estimates and recommendations for cloud migration on costs, savings, and potential ROI, right? With recommended migration scenarios, scope, and selection of tools and services. And in the end, knowledge whether the data you have is sufficient to achieve the intended results and whether it has real business potential with implementing AI.
So Piotr, for those who are watching, what's the most practical next step to take?
Well, if you're budgeting for 2026 or working on AI, automation, or modernization, start with a data health assessment. It gives you a clear view of risks, ROI blockers, and what to fix. It also gives you documentation useful for legal, procurement, or board-level justification.
Okay, so to sum up, the Data Act is coming and it impacts how your systems operate. Data quality is the foundation for all your strategic decisions, digital initiatives, and AI efforts. And the data health assessment can help you uncover gaps, reduce risks, and build the clarity you need to move forward with confidence. And don't assume your data is ready just because your system works. After this webinar, you will receive an email with the full webinar recording, a link to download the Data Act Readiness, the guide that we have developed, and a short audio summary of the guide itself. And for those who will watch us later on YouTube, a link will be in the description. And if you like a personal assessment or want to discuss your situation, please contact us. Thanks to our speakers for sharing their expertise, and thanks to all online for joining us today.